is 13 Eyewitness News at 6.
Well, we are learning more about a worker injured in a LaPorte plant fire last week.
Still ahead, the extent of his injuries and what he now says about the safety of that plant. In other news this evening, it's been a little more than a week since a fire at the AkzoNobel plant in LaPorte. One worker was injured. That accident serves as a reminder that people who work in these plants can be doing very dangerous jobs. But as Eyewitness News reporter MIYA SHAY found out, assigning the blame in these types of situations is not easy. She's joining us live from LaPorte. MIYA?
Well, it's certainly difficult for the tens of thousands of workers who work in the petrochemical plants in the greater Houston area. They always know there's a risk when going in. When an explosion and subsequent fire engulfed parts of the AkzoNobel plant last week, Toyo Gonzalez was the only worker hurt.
Fortunately, he had goggles on that day, so it protected his eyes. Had he not had goggles on that day, he probably would have been blind right now.
Gonzalez's attorney, Jason Gibson, showed us photos of his client's injuries, chemical burns that cover more than half his face. It's something URIEL Mendoza is all too familiar with.
I knew that it could be dangerous, but I've never heard of this kind of stuff happening to people.
In March of 2010, Mendoza was working at a plant owned by Petrobras when hot liquid burned more than half his body. 3 years later, he still needs several more skin graft surgeries on his torso.
Running, I was a very active person before. I can't really do most of the stuff that I used to do.
Safety expert Dennis CAPUTO says assigning blame can be difficult. He says the industry has gotten safer since he first started 40 years ago, but a thorough investigation is needed in every case.
A working environment can be a dangerous place if you're not properly attentive and if the company is not paying attention to making sure that things are done in a safe manner.
And every time another fire or explosion happens, it's a reminder that safety is never too important.
It's not a matter of if, it's when, and it's always something that could have been preventable by just taking the necessary steps, following regulations, that are government regulations, and following their own safety policies and procedures.
And Gonzalez is recovering at home tonight. He and his attorney did file a lawsuit against both the plant manager and the owners of the plant. That happened just today. We are live in Deer Park. MIYA SHAY, 13 Eyewitness News.